Good morning. Welcome to our students, community members, and most importantly, our honored veterans. We are truly grateful for your presence as we come together to recognize and celebrate the service and sacrifice of those who defended our nation. At this time, I would ask everyone who is able to please rise, remove your caps, as we welcome the members of the American Legion Auxiliary into the field house. Thank you to the Oconto Falls American Legion Ike Sankey Post 302 Honor Guard for presenting the colors and leading our honored guests in this morning. You may be seated. At this time, please enjoy a performance by the Oconto Falls High School Band under the direction of Miss Lauren Seidel as they perform the Liberty Bell March. At this time, I would like to welcome to the stage Mrs. Beverly Umentum, President of the American Legion Ike Stanky Unit 302, as she leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance. This will be immediately followed by the singing of our national anthem performed by the Oconto Falls School Choirs under the direction of Miss Abigail Jaden. Once again, as a sign of respect, please stand, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart during both the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Today, we come together to honor the brave men and women who have served in our armed forces, both past and present. Their dedication, courage, and sacrifices have protected our freedoms and shaped the nation we're proud to call home. As we gather, we recognize not only their service, but also challenges they have faced and their commitments they have made to ensure our safety and liberty. Their selflessness and steadfast devotion to duty stand as a powerful example to us all. To those who have served in times of war, those who continue to serve today, and those who will serve in the future, we extend our heartfelt gratitude. Your courage, resilience, and patriotism inspire and guide us, and we are forever thankful for the sacrifices you and your families have made. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite a veteran and commander, I'd like to invite a veteran and commander of the Oconto Falls American Legion Ike Sankey Post 302, Mr. Rick Kamai, to introduce the veterans joining us today.
Thank you for your service. Pat Lottie, Navy. Dan Lottie, Army. Leslie Brown, Army. David Brown, Army. James Peterson, Army. Andrew Smith, Navy. Wayne Wentworth, Air Force. Phil Conitzer, Army. Ron Vello, Army. Judy Osborne, Navy. Don Osborne, Navy. Roger Spotty, Army. Jeremiah Coos, Army. David Younger, National Guard. Thomas Burdick, Air Force. Tyler Johnson, Navy. Kevin Bramer, Army. Dawn Arnold, Navy. Vaughn Spalding, Army. Tim Cole, Navy. Bob Maloney, Navy. Bob Thompson, Air Force. Tom Philhauer, Navy. Tom Johnson, Air Force. Robert Wolf, Army. Scott Longzine, Air Force. Ambrose Kowalczyk, Army. John Betcher, Air Force. Michelle Meyer, Air Force. Jerry Winter, Army. Mark Ronk, Army. Kevin Kuhn, Navy. Bob Schindel, Marines. Rick Crumry, Army. Roger Kane, Army. Leonard Burns, Army. John Kwiatkowski, Army. Jamie Stankiewicz, Army. Ken Valley, Navy. Richard Peterson, Army. Ralph Papish, Army. Bill LaBrosse, Navy. Ralph LaBrosse, Army. Kevin Christensen, Air Force. Jake DeMullen, Army. Chris Mader, Army. Gordon April, Army. Paul Martinez, Navy. Josh Pine, Army. Randy Van, Army. Dan McDermott, Marines. Robert Telford, Air Force. Michael Kraus, Army. Thank you. May be seated.
Thank you, Commander Cumry. Next, please welcome our senior class speaker, Julia Weiler. Extra note about Julia is she will be enlisting in the National Guard later on this spring.
The military has always played a part in my life, even when I didn't realize it. My grandpa is a Navy veteran from Vietnam, and my uncle is a Master Sergeant of 20 years in the Air Force, and I have many other family members on both sides who have enlisted, or at least tried to. Talk about deployments and stories about missing curfew when coming back to the ship have always held a special place in my heart and instilled a sense of wonder in me at a young age. Being raised by my grandparents, my home life was drastically different compared to most of my friends, and due to my grandfather in particular. He taught me and my brother various things: how to shoot metal cans with a BB gun at age 10, how to reload our own bullet casings at home, and how to swab the deck in his own words. He sat us down at the table every day in elementary school to run through multiplication tables and typing lessons for months, and thanks to him, I can now type upwards of 100 words per minute. These were all things that I quickly realized not every household did, and I quickly realized that not everyone was raised by their grandparents either, let alone by a grandparent who was a veteran. Being in the Navy stuck with my grandfather a lot. It showed through in his mannerisms and the way he wanted things done, and especially through the way he talked. So, by proxy, through my grandfather, the Navy stuck with me a lot too. I learned many of the mannerisms I have today through my grandfather, who picked those up from being in the Navy. I'm sure this phenomenon is applicable to many of you who have veteran relatives as well, and this just goes to show how far the military's reach can be, through brilliant and intelligent veterans such as my grandfather. Much later in life, as of this summer specifically, I began to feel a little lost in my life. As my senior year of high school came closer, the threat of college expenses and student loans were looming over me, and the dread of entering the monotonous world of school, work began to take hold. I knew I needed a change, and while my future job in healthcare made me very happy to think about, I knew I needed more of a purpose than simply pursuing a career the rest of my life. But I didn't know what kind of change. I didn't know what would fill the void I was exactly searching for. I can't explicitly say what pushed me to enlist within the month I finally decided to. In all honesty, it was many things. One of my closest friends had been talking about it, and the thought stayed with me as it was truly inspiring. And over that summer, the thought of my research in epidemiology and the importance of protecting civilians against viruses and diseases helped me give a sense of direction to myself. I began to consider the fact that such protection to my civilians can come in many forms, and I would only be limiting myself if I didn't pursue all of my options. It was like the light in my head that had been flickering on and off for so many years finally lit up for good. This has not been an easy decision for me. It's intimidating, to say the least, and not the most popular decision in my life I have made, but I would like to take this moment to thank all of my friends and family who trusted and supported me through this process, and state that I made this choice for myself. I enlisted because the military is something I truly want in my life for myself. The military is something that I do want in my life for a very long time to come, and like me, all of you have choices to make as well. We all have our own lives to embark on and paths to forge for ourselves, so I ask all of you to start considering what it means to live for you. What does it mean to be happy for you? How will you start taking your life into your own hands and living it the way you truly want to, as your own individual? For me, being happy means bringing joy to others and being a safe space for them, and living means seeing the ones I love comfortable and safe. That is what I would say my purpose is if I had to name one. It's what pushed me to pursue public health, offer mentoring and tutoring services, and especially enlist in the military. Helping those in need is paramount when you yourself are able to do so, and in trying times such as these, everyone deserves someone to protect them. No matter your culture or religion or who you are as a person, you deserve to have someone in your corner, someone to step in for you when things get out of hand, and someone to support you if no one else dares to. That is what it means to be in the military, to be that person. That is why it is so important to cherish our veterans and give them the thanks they deserve. What they did, most other people wouldn't dare to do, and they put their lives on the line out of consideration for us and our safety. And that is an act of bravery that will never be diminished, a favor that could be never thanked for enough. They all bring true honor to this country and are role models that we should all look up to. Once again, thank you all for your service. You are a true inspiration to me and many others. And as long as there are citizens in this country, you will always have someone to be thankful for your service. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. At this time, please enjoy a selection from the Oconto Falls High School choirs as they perform the Armed Forces Salute.
On behalf of the Oconto Falls Choirs, we would like to welcome all of our veterans. When you hear your branches sung, please rise if you are able and be recognized. Thank you. The United States Army. The United States Coast Guard. The United States Marines. The United States Air Force. The United States Navy.
Today, we are honored to welcome Kevin Lane Kuhn II to our Veterans Day program. Kevin proudly served in the United States Navy from 2008 to 2021 as a member of the Seabees, achieving the rank of Petty Officer First Class. Throughout his 13 years of service, Kevin earned numerous awards, including the Army Achievement Medal, Navy Achievement Medal with 3 gold stars, multiple Good Conduct Medals, Seabee Combat Warfare Specialist Designation, Navy Expert Pistol and Rifle Medals, and many Sailor of the Quarter Awards, among others. As an equipment operator, Kevin specialized in heavy construction equipment for both horizontal and vertical construction, as well as transportation logistics and convoy security operations. His service included 2 combat tours in Afghanistan from 2009 to 2010, and again in 2014. He served at multiple duty stations, including Amphibious Construction Battalion 2, Naval Construction Battalion 22, Naval Construction Battalion 25, and Maritime Expeditionary Security Squadron 14. Today, Kevin is a dedicated husband and father of 3 daughters. He works as the parts warehouse manager for Transport Refrigeration Incorporated in De Pere, Wisconsin, and serves as Director of Youth and Worship at Oconto Gospel Chapel. Reflecting on his time in service, Kevin shares this guiding principle: I learned that relationships and people mean more than anything else in life. Mission first, people always. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Petty Officer First Class Kevin Kuhn II.
Well, good morning to all the students, faculty, the guests, and most importantly, all of the veterans that are here with us today. It's my profound honor to stand before you on Veterans Day. This is a day that our nation sets aside to pause and reflect and say thank you. We stop our busy lives to honor the men and women who have worn the uniform of the United States Armed Services. We honor their courage, their sacrifice, and their patriotism. But I believe that the truest way to honor a veteran is not just to thank them for their service, but to learn from their service. We often see war depicted in movies as a simple, chaotic firefight, a clear line between good guys and bad guys. But for the vast majority of our veterans, the reality is infinitely more difficult. It's a reality governed not by impulse, but by incredible discipline. Every service member operates under a weight that very few of us can truly comprehend. It's not just the weight of the gear that we wear or fear for our own lives. It's the weight of decision, specifically the awesome life or death decision of when and when not to use force. This is all governed by a set of orders known as the rules of engagement. These aren't suggestions. They're lawful, binding orders that separate a military professional from a reckless vigilante. At the heart of these rules, for many situations, is a three-part test that we had to conduct in our mind. Often we only had seconds to do it. That test is capability, opportunity, and intent. Before we could engage a potential threat, that threat must demonstrate all three. First, capability. Does this person have the ability to cause harm? Do they have a weapon? Are they in a vehicle driving at a high rate of speed towards a checkpoint? This is the first check. Second, opportunity. Does this person have the chance to use their capability? A person might have a weapon, but if it's slung over their shoulder and they're walking away, they don't have the immediate opportunity to use it. Are they within range? An enemy combatant could be shouting at you, having a machete, waving it around. But if he's 100 yards away, he doesn't have the opportunity to do you harm. Do they have a clear line of sight? And third, the most difficult, intent. Is this person showing that they plan to cause harm? Are they raising their rifle? Are they ignoring loud, clear commands to stop and continuing to advance? Think about that. The capability, the opportunity, and the intent. Imagine you were in my boots, a young 20-year-old on the roads of Afghanistan conducting convoy security, standing in a turret of a gun truck day after day for hours at a time, always scanning, always watching, always on guard and aware. A car approaches at the rear of your convoy at a high rate of speed. They have capability. A vehicle being used as a possible vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. They have opportunity. They're approaching your convoy at a high rate of speed. But what's their intent? Is this an enemy insurgent looking to cause harm? As much damage as he can without possible regard for their own life? Or is this just a person who is driving and not paying attention to what's going on in front of them? You have mere seconds to decide. If you're wrong and you do nothing, your friends could be blown to pieces. If you're wrong in the other direction, an innocent person pays the ultimate price. And now you're facing a court-martial and probably jail time. This isn't a video game. There's no reset button. This is the reality of what we as service members were tasked to do each day. The moral courage it takes to not shoot is often far greater than the act of bravery of pulling the trigger. This is the invisible discipline that we are honoring today. And this is the challenge I want to leave you with. This framework, this disciplined way of thinking, is one of the greatest lessons that our veterans can teach us. Because in your life, you're going to face your own targets. Not people, but challenges, obstacles, fears, goals that seem impossible. And to defeat them, you will need to use the same three-part test. But you won't be assessing an enemy. You'll be assessing your challenge, and you will be assessing yourself. Let's start with your challenge. That big exam, the college application, the fear of public speaking, that tryout for the team, the part of your life that you want to change. Let's talk about capability. I had to ask, does the enemy have the ability to harm me? You have to ask, do I have the ability to defeat this challenge? This is where preparation lives. This is your training. You don't have the capability to pass a final exam that you haven't studied for or paid attention in class for. You don't have the capability to make the team if you haven't practiced. Unlike a service member who must react to the capability of others, you get to build your own capability. Your education right here in this school is your weapons system. Every book you read, every problem set you finish, every hour you spend practicing an instrument or a sport, you're building your capability. When you're lazy, when you cut corners, when you're willingly walking into a challenge unarmed, you're not doing yourself justice. Honor our veterans by committing to your preparation and build your capability. The second, let's talk about your opportunity. See, I had to ask, does the enemy have the chance to act now? You must learn to ask, is my chance to act now? An opportunity is a moment in time. It's the application deadline. It's the day of the test. It's the moment the coach calls your name. It's the instant you have a chance to stand up for what is right. Many people build capability. They study, they practice, but when faced with their moment, they freeze. They fail to recognize their opportunity. They wait for the perfect moment that never comes. They let the target get away. Veterans know that you must seize the opportunity when it appears. You cannot hesitate. When your moment comes, you must engage. Honor our veterans by having the courage to act. Recognize your opportunity. And third, and most importantly, let's talk about intent. The hardest job I ever faced was trying to figure out an enemy's intent. For you, the question is 1,000 times clearer because it's about your intent. Do you want it? What is your purpose and why? You can have the capability to pass a class. You can have the opportunity of sitting at the desk for the final, but if you do not have the intent to succeed, you will fail. Your intent is your will. It's your commitment. It's the fire inside of you that says, I will not quit. I will not be turned around. I am determined to see this through. In your life, you'll be confronted by challenges that look overwhelming. The enemy of apathy, of fear, of self-doubt. These are the insurgents of your future. They're real and they're dangerous. So when you face them, I challenge you to be as disciplined as the veterans that we honor here today. When you look at your goals, assess them with the same clear-eyed focus. Build your capability through relentless preparation. Seize your opportunity with courage and drive it all with unwavering intent. The veterans here today face their challenges with discipline, with everything on the line to protect our nation and our future, your future. The greatest way to thank them is to live a life worthy of their sacrifice. Live a life of discipline. Live a life of purpose. Live a life of action. To our veterans, thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And thank you for modeling what true discipline, courage, and character look like. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, Kevin, for that inspiring message. At this time, please welcome the Oconto Falls High School Band as they perform For Spacious Skies. At this time, please stand in silence as Elliot Druckery, Oconto Falls High School Junior, performs Taps. You may have a seat. To our veterans, thank you for your service. Your courage, sacrifice, and dedication have shaped our nation and preserved the freedoms we hold dear. We are forever grateful for all that you have done. To our students, I hope that today's program has deepened your understanding of the importance of Veterans Day and the sacrifices veterans have made for us. I encourage you to continue to learn about the history of our country and the vital role our veterans have played in shaping it. Students, we're going to allow our community members, you're also warmly invited to attend the Oconto Falls Elementary program, which begins at 10:30 a.m. Thank you again to everyone for joining us today. We wish you a wonderful rest of your day. At this time, please stand for the retirement of the colors. I apologize, I skipped something. Please be seated for one more performance. At this time, the Oconto Falls High School Choir will be performing our final music selection, Wherever You Are. All right, let's try this again. At this time, please stand for the retirement of the colors. Let's hear it for our veterans again. Students, if you want to just have a seat for a moment as we allow our guests to leave. So Panthers, as always, thank you for creating an atmosphere of respect and gratitude during today's program. It truly means a great deal to our honored guests, but to the